Hello, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to be having a chat here with Victor Lebon of Lebon Consulting. Victor will be moderating one of our tracks at the HS events Damn Europe, taking place 28th and 29th of June in London. And will be moderating one of the tracks, but also presenting the why and the what of Damn in the morning of day one to sort of set the scene for the rest of that track. So Victor, I wanted to have a little chat like this over our cups of coffee, and wanted to ask you, what are the big issues facing the digital asset management professional today?
Hi, Christine. Good to speak with you, and hello everybody. I think that the biggest issue that I've seen is, with higher profile of DAM comes a bigger responsibility and impact. I was talking with some CMOs in the last year or two, and they now know what DAM is and why it's really important. And you go back a few years, CMOs didn't really know what a DAM was and why it was important. But of course, with that, the pressure goes up. The higher it gets put within the organization. And then that means you need to then connect with other parts of the organization, different functions that you never need to do used to have to do before. So I think that's probably one of the biggest issues that I've seen. And how do you then elevate yourself within the organization and then work with different parts of the business together?
Not an easy ride, I should think. A lot of
No, it's
challenges, lots of
challenging.
bumps in the road. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So perhaps with that all in mind, then, Victor, can you share one valuable learning that you have picked up during your time working in this damn space?
Well, I'm actually going to quote Teresa Regli. She said a quote. If many of you haven't met her before, you'll hear her speak. She said something at a conference many years ago, and it's still as relevant today as it was then. And that's the split of the focus, the time, and the budget on the people part of it versus the technology. And I think the stat that Teresa was quoting, which I wholly agree with, is that probably 70% of that is people and 30% of that is tech. And unfortunately, sometimes the programs that don't succeed, it's the other way around. So really focusing on the time and the investment in the people and the process. And of course, you need the technology too, but getting that split right.
Excellent. And of course, we'll have a lot of that discussion at Damn Europe, of course, especially with the whole thing of AI and so on. Um, Moving on to Damn Europe in June, what are Victor Lebon, what are you looking forward to hearing about in June?
Well, it's funny you actually mention AI because that's one of the things that I'm mostly looking forward to. So it's actually the questions that come from the audience. I was talking to, a client of mine at a big CPG company, and we were looking at ChatGPT, and his initial response was, "Oh, we're all out of a job," which we're not, of course, because what AI does is answer questions, but you still need to have someone asking the right questions. So it's actually the questions that I'm most interested for the event in June, during the talks that you might have on the side chats, and then actually looking at the what and why and how that unifies people. You get some really interesting questions that come from different industries. So I was having a look on the track that I'm going to be chairing. For example, the Tourism Ireland talk, where you're talking about how you get different parts of the organization working together, or the ICP digital commerce track, which is really interesting because you have people looking at digital commerce from different industries, from a media and entertainment point of view versus a more traditional consumer goods point of view. And the questions that they will ask each other on those panels and in those talks, what's relevant for you and why is it relevant for you, can then be translated back to help you put an outcome that's then very relevant for your specific organization. So AI is going to make a lot of things awesome, but it's not going to ask the questions. People still need to ask the right questions to get the answers. So I'm looking forward to the questions.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff. And perhaps you've just answered this really, but what is the must attend buzz that you've got there that for professionals to is it to to look at learning more about technology? Is it more about application? What do you think is the most important thing about attending Damn Europe?
Well, I think Damn Europe and these conferences specifically are still the best place to get insight and experience, across industries, but also from the very strategic to the very operational in the day to day. And very importantly, for DAM professionals to realize that you're not alone, right? other people are having the same challenges and problems as you have. You don't have to solve everything yourself. Asking those questions and getting help from others who are, peers, competitors, experts to help you solve those problems. And I think that's why it's must attend. You don't have to solve everything yourself. Sometimes feels very personal that, oh, only I'm going through this within my organization or technology company or whatever it is. Others are going through much the same thing. So learning from each other and then asking those key questions is why it's a must attend.
Plenty of that opportunity at the event in June. Oh, look, this is a little frivolous one. If the event's taking place in London, what would you recommend to a new person coming to London? What they must see? I mean, you live in London. What would it be?
Well, I'm a foodie and I love eating out in London. It's actually one of the most multicultural, and diverse cities in the world. Really, I've had the privilege of traveling quite a bit, and there are so many different cultures and different cuisines that come together. Lots of great places to eat out. And then the other thing is, ironically, it's the weather. I mean, people wouldn't normally say that London's the destination for good weather, but seeing as this is happening in June, we have a better than average chance of it being sunny, and like it is today. And when it shines in London, it's utterly glorious. So going out and finding somewhere to explore and then to grab a bite to eat. And that's what I love coming into London. I think it's wonderful.
Superb. Oh, well, Victor, thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you in just a few weeks.
Great. Thank you so much,
Thank
Christine.
you. Bye now.
Cheers.